Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our X Games team previews. We've been doing a team a day, essentially, a couple of teams every now and then.
Some teams more than, yeah, team.
But we fly to X Games at 6 a.m. So we're like, hey, we have 2 teams left to do. Faze and Optic, do them all today.
I didn't pack yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
Organization.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
For the win.
Anyway,
fine.
Gonna be talking about Faze. If you don't know their roster, clearly you don't really know much anything about Call of Duty.
Live under a rock.
Yeah, it's Enable, Slasher, Zuma, and Hook.
It's a pretty good team.
Yeah,
Decent.
pretty good team.
Average
pretty good team.
C+.
Yeah, they got some pretty good players. I think Enable really going to be the key for them going into X Games. We'll talk a little bit about him first. Enable overall with a 1.04 KD Season 2, 26.89 in the Slayer department.
Yep.
Had a fantastic Season 2. Now goes over to Europe with Optic Gaming. They play really well. They win 2 events, comes back, gets second at Cali. Can Faze keep it going?
That's the question for me, because he's proved he can win championships. He looks extremely, extremely good, and, his Faze team has been pretty good, like even COD champs. Enable played well COD champs. Like, he hasn't really had an event with his actual team where you can say, oh, didn't really play well. He got a lot of flack when he was in Europe, though. People kind of looked at his performance and was like, oh, he's not very good. Look at the numbers he's dropping. But playing a very, very different role than he was used to, kind of outside of his comfort zone, but still able to win a championship. Again, some of the kind of statistics, a 1.04 Season 2 overall KD, 26.8 average slaying. It's nothing which is mind-blowing, but he just does the role that is needed for the team to succeed.
Right.
Which is the best.
He's just a great overall player. A great leader. Does whatever he needs to do for the team to get those wins.
First time X Games, by the way.
That's crazy.
That surprises me a lot.
Didn't have that good of last year. Playing under you, it cursed. You guys sucked. So
4th.
No.
Just saying.
Yeah, one time. Anyway, Slasher.
Which was the time when I was in the house. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the May moved in and they didn't qualify. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't qualify.
Nothing besides first matters. Anyway, Slasher.
So true.
Yeah. Slasher. It's going to be his first time competing at X Games, too. It's going to be the main AR for this Faze roster. Even in S&D, 1.8 uplinks per game, 1.05 hardpoint KD, 1.03 CTF KD. Very strong overall player. That's kind of what you expect out of everybody on Faze. Like, they're all rock solid players.
Yeah, he's had a very, very consistent year overall. If you look at every event he's been, sometimes has inconsistent games though, and it's when is that inconsistency going to come out? Is it going to be that key game? Because sometimes you've seen him play Optic and he's been fired up. Like, you go back to AEW Columbus Open.
Yeah,
he was fired up. He didn't want to lose. And then other times you've seen him play and he's been kind of nullified by another AR. If Formal's just going to outgun him constantly, then you're going to see that pressure, and that's where the cracks kind of start to form for Faze.
Yeah, you want Slasher. He plays well most of the time. I think it's just those big game moments you're worried about. How he's going to play. Right. At least that's what I'm going to look out for. I expect him to crush all the way through. It's doesn't really matter for me anymore. How he plays Friday, Saturday. I kind of expect him to play well. Just how Sunday. He shows up in the biggest match.
As soon as you get into that medal match, how are you going to play?
Right.
That's the key, because it's all good and well getting to the medal matches.
It does matter.
But as soon as you're there,
it doesn't matter. If you don't win, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Anyway, Zuma, very talented player. He actually had a fantastic UMG Cali. I don't think a lot of people took away from this. He was very good at UMG Cali. First time competing at X Games as well. All 4 of these guys, first time competing at X Games. Zuma had a pretty good overall Season 2. Coming in from Envy over to Faze. I think this has been a great fit for him. Mm-hmm. I think UMG Cali, he showed what he's really capable of.
Some of the stats from him for Season 2, 1.04 overall KD, nearly a 30 Slayer rating, 1.09 S&D KD, 1.63 uplinks per game. He's known for his search and destroy. That's kind of the community he came from. And it's weird, because I saw him tweet, he hasn't even been playing competitively for a year.
Yeah, first event was Anaheim Goes.
Which is...
So it's
when just
less than a year, because that was the end of the month, June.
He is cemented in your brain as, oh, this guy's a top Call of Duty player. He hasn't even been around a year.
Yeah.
Crazy. Blows my mind. He's done so well to kind of get to the level he is at. But excited to see how he plays at the X Games. As you mentioned, everyone's first X Games here. How are nerves going to affect people, especially this next young player, Hook? A lot of eyes on him going to the X Games.
Oh, Rookie of the Year, Season 1, ending 7th overall KD, Season 2. Hook is just, look at the stats. He's just solid all around. S&D a 1.14, 1.09 hardpoint, 1.23 in CTF. You just expect him to bring it every game. Only 16 years old, just insane. Once he's eligible to go COD champs, this guy, everyone's going to want this guy.
So true. End of the season, 7th in overall KD and 4th in the Slayer rating. And Hardpoint has been one of Faze's strong game modes throughout the year. And we actually picked out a very, very good Hardpoint game.
Yes.
It's Faze versus Optic Gaming from UMG Cali. Game 1, Hardpoint Retreat, playing against one of Optic's best maps. You really wanted to highlight just how good this Faze team can really be. Let's take a look.
He's only been to 2 finals in Call of Duty. He's won both of them, but that's when he was wearing Optic Green back in red. We'll see who has the hotter hand off the break. Zuma on your screen. Krim is going to draw first blood on Enable. Hook answering back, and Zuma keeping Karma off the hill.
I think Zuma's really the key player for Faze in this matchup, Puckett. You expect Hook to go off, you expect Enable to play well. If Zuma can put that pressure on Optic Gaming, and really, I think you kind of look at him and Scump, how that goes. If Zuma can win a decent amount of those engagements, it's going to spell good things for Faze on respawn.
Nice play so far by Enable, keeping Optic out. You're going to see Enable on a 2 streak, trying to loop back around. 20 seconds left on this first hard point, but it's really going to be hard point number 2 on this map, where you'll see a team build up a lead. Zuma off to a nice start. We take it over to Slasher here, as it's all Faze in our first minute. We'll switch over to Optic going into hill number 2.
Yeah, and it looks like Faze is going to be running 3 Battles on this one, kind of taking something from E6. We saw E6 use a lot of ARs in all the games they played, and it looks like that's what Faze is going to decide to do in this one. Optic, though, set up for the next hill already. It's going to be Faze ahead by a little bit of points, but no, Optic's going to make that up right now.
Now, Karma kind of getting a little bit of flack from some people who don't understand really the teamwork that goes into competitive Call of Duty, but he is getting the crucial kills. He was over on poolside. He stopped the initial rotation coming from Faze, and that bought time for Formal and Scump to get into position. Scump back on the hard point now, leading all players. Actually, he's now 6 and 5. Zuma is working with Hook, trying to stay at the top of their leaderboard, but I really like what Scump's been able to do with Formal, especially on this map. Why is this duo so dangerous?
They're so dangerous because, Scump puts so much pressure on the other team, and I think Formal probably, him and Glacier, the 2 best ARs in Call of Duty, he's able to just be that safety valve that lets Scump put so much pressure on the opposing team. You see Faze, though, able to break it there. Something of note, a few of the Faze guys, I think it might be actually Zuma running hardwire, so going to be looking at that. Optic throwing a ton of stuns. They're probably going to have to adjust.
Slasher sticking with the standard battle class is going to milk the hill time. Optic on the full-on rotation. Krim's going to fall first. Scump next in line. And we're going to go back over to Optic here with Karma set up in the back. All the fights are going down poolside. Formal working with Scump on the opposite end. And Scump picks up 2. Formal looking for the 4th. And that is going to be a clean sweep. Everyone from Faze dropping, but they're still getting some pretty nice spawns, Matt.
Yeah, Faze still spawning pretty close to the Optic Gaming players, and it looks like they've adjusted a little bit too. It seems Krim has pulled out a bow as well, so they realize Faze running that extra AR, trying to match it as well, but it's going to be Faze controlling this lobby hill. Formal trying to just wait for some teammates to get in there and try and break it, but nobody in support. He's going to have to go in there himself, Puckett. Not the spot you want to be playing with an AR.
Formal trying to stay alive. You see 3 red kills in that feed. Formal, fantastic melee there. Krim trying to back him up, and Krim is going to go down. Scump, last man standing for Optic, but his teammates come up. A nice spawn. This is just going to be a lot of contention for the final 7 seconds, and that is the difference in our 2 scores. 62 to 55 it was just a moment ago. Faze is going to rotate to the new hard point first. We'll see if Krim and crew can break it.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge hard point for both teams. If Faze is able to hold this one, definitely going to put themselves in a pretty big lead. I mean, this bottom hard point, when your AR starts to go off, it's really going to be a Slasher versus Formal battle on this hill. Whoever's able to win that, going to rack up tons of time on this bottom hill. You see Scump trying to push in. Zuma going to be playing so patient behind this pole, just trying to keep it alive for the rest of his teammates to get over there. He's going to be able to get one, looking for a second player, trying to control those spawns. It's going to be Scump, though, running and picking up 2.
Enable staying alive, though. Karma behind the bar is going to get drop shotted. Slasher over Enable's shoulder doing the damage, and you got to love the way Slasher was playing that from afar. Hook is going to clear the hill with a 2-piece, but Optic continues to swarm. Karma back into the mix. Slasher answering back, but Optic continuing to add points to their score. A very tight game, though, in our first round of rotations, Matt. Look how close this one, 76-75 after the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, nobody rotates early to this 5th hard point. It looks like it's going to be a battle between 2 players up top. It's actually won by Slasher, so Slasher and Scump fighting for it up top. Looked like it was going to go to Faze early. It seems like a player from Optic, was Karma, going to get in there, taken out by Slasher as well. So Faze able to take control of this hill. And this is the first time that Optic's really been pushed to the limit in hardpoint. I believe they're undefeated at this event so far in hardpoint. This is the first time they've really had a very close match.
Now, following the ASM-1 nerf, you said that, well, I guess we've seen a lot more battles, but earlier today I heard you say that you think Slasher is still a top 3 battle in the game. Why is he so strong in your opinion?
no, he's just always in the right position. You rarely see Slasher, have to fight a difficult fight. You see right there, that Karma, it's an easy pick up these kills. I mean, you hardly see him fight from difficult positions. Slasher just positions himself in always great spots to keep himself at an advantage. Just a great job of map awareness.
And we talked a little bit about the Formal versus Slasher battle so far. This has been Slasher dominant, 21-15 Formal. Shut down so far in this game. Gfinity, he dropped 56 on this same game type. Today, though, 16-17 after our first 5 minutes. Going back over to Crim6, though, he's leading the squad on top of the scoreboard with 6 captures. 18-20, still not positive, but starting to heat up.
Yep, the rest of the players pretty slow. I mean, you expect Karma to start off a little slow, 13-20. It's not really going to be his job to go off on this team. I mean, with Scump and Formal, you're going to rely on those two to pick up most of your kills. Like Karma and Crim are going to have to fill in the gaps, pick up the kills in the hill, go big when you need to. Those two players, though, getting off to a slow start, you're going to look at Karma and Formal in the second half, really have them pick it up.
To beat Optic Gaming, you have to make them uncomfortable, and you have to give props to Faze for the way they've just put the aggression on Optic from start to finish. But Formal lining them up, Scump picking up the other two, the duo shutting it down. Formal, he was negative, now on a 6 streak, and that is going to be 7 before he finally falls. Karma going to drop, that was Scump dropping. Karma staying alive, picking up 2. And nice job to get out of here, wait for his teammates to respawn over at pool before pushing forward.
Yeah, and Optic's going to have control of this next hill when it pops up, but that is not a good sign if you're a Faze fan. You saw Formal start to heat up a little bit there. I think that was like a 7 streak and officially ended up on, but no, him and Scump starting to feel it. When they get in a groove, there's no stopping Optic. You see 2 more kills for Formal in the kill feed. Going to be watching the back, going to pick up another, just doing a great job locking that down.
Trying to get over to Formal. Formal with that bow. Set up a good push. Enable knows he's got to stay aggressive against his teammates from last weekend. And Enable, I wonder how much did he learn playing alongside Optic Gaming, and is he able to use that knowledge against them now today?
Well, I think he probably learned a little bit playing with Optic for that 2-week period of time. You see Slasher with 3 amazing kills, but it seemed like when they were talking interviews and stuff that they were just kind of going off of raw skill.
Just winging it?
Yeah, they were just winging it. So you don't know how much they probably taught him. And honestly, the Optic guys probably figured Faze is their best competition outside of Denial. And Slasher going huge here on a 6 spree. But they probably thought that Faze is probably their best competition outside of Denial. Let's not teach Enable too much.
And you're going to see Enable set up inside the hard point. He lost Hook, who's been relatively quiet, 28-30, but we haven't shown him too much. Let's show this man some love. Plus, excuse me, I was trying to do the math real quick, and it looks like there's a big difference between Slasher and Zuma. I thought it was going to be Faze out slaying, but Zuma, after a hot start, remember, he was like 3-7 at one point, 18-28 now. What's going wrong with this man?
Yeah, Zuma just loves to be hyper aggressive towards the hill. I mean, you see right there, just going to flood in, just reckless abandon. When he's not winning most of his gunfights, his score is going to be ugly. But you expect that out of Zuma. Not a player you're going to want to see go positive most of the time. A little bit like Attach, like if he has like a 40-41 game or, forcing those engagements, that's what you want out of him. Mid-legging at Zuma to get really aggressive on these hills the last few rotations.
Hook back in the action. Hook has been very active, 33-34 already. Slasher is going to fall. Optic is doing a great job of picking up the kills as we go back to Zuma. We'll watch him one more time. Can he go on a run? There's one player. That's the flank. Now he's going to pick off Karma. One more player's coming down. Zuma knows it. Feels the pressure, but Scump still gets the kill. Scump going on a rampage now. There's 1, there's 2. He will be dropped. Enable putting an end to him. Crim6 with the bow. Won't be able to pick that up. Hook inside. This is a brutal fight at the bottom. And last time we were at the bar, neither team really picking up many points. Faze with an opportunity to catch up. They're down 15, but that margin is getting more and more narrow.
If you're Faze, you don't even need to play for the full time on this clock right now on this hill. I think you need to play to probably be down by 10 seconds going into the final hill and then just kind of make that one a toss-up. That's probably how you'd play it. Playing for the garbage time here, giving Optic that early rotation on the next one, it's going to be a loss no matter what. You just have to take the rest of this time. I mean, at this point, you're going to have to force for this garbage time, pick up these last 10 seconds to make it a game. But no, it seems like they have control of the next hill spawn already as well.
And those are big kills going down over at pool. Yeah. It's Slasher, who has been hot all game long, continues to stay positive 10. Just picked up 2, won't be able to grab the 3rd, and Enable knows the rush is on. Everyone is going to be surging forward. He's going to go down. Zuma up next to him. Going to pick up 1. Big 2 kills there from Zuma. Enable coming off the spawn, up the stairs, will fall. Slasher, though, answering back. Final 30 seconds, 13 points separating these squads.
And Faze is in perfect position to set up here, Puckett. Optic's going to have to be very careful. They can't keep flooding in one by one, but as I say that, Karma just runs in, gets a huge three-piece. Formal able to pick up one, Scump another. Optic able to break this Faze setup at the end. You know, it looked like Faze had a perfect setup to hold that one down, but Karma goes absolutely massive on this final hill.
Scump is going to finish with the most kills on the squad. Formal right behind him, 41 and 39. But that play from Karma, arguably the MVP performance here in game number 1. Optic is going to lock things up here in the first map in our best of 5, 203 to 170.
You know, Karma, he's not going to go positive.
Faze put up a good fight in Hot Point.
I mean, that's Optic's best map. Faze puts up a pretty good fight there, map number 1.
Someone's about to get fired.
I didn't pick that.
You did do it. I didn't do it. I know who did do it, though.
Anyway, gonna go to a quick commercial break. Gonna come back. Gonna talk about Faze's overall Season 2 performance. Then, some more gameplay.
Yes.
How good this Faze roster is.
Yeah.
Be right back.